Hey everyone, Crystal here from Book of Bijou, bringing you another episode of Mind My Business. Today we have the incredible Brooke Anthony, founder of Chloe and Lois.
Hi, everybody.
She was actually another brand that we collaborated with on our very first bundle giveaway. Those ridiculously cute mismatched star and moon earrings and the star and moon bracelet. Those were both Chloe and Lois. You guys were so raving about it. If you missed the giveaway, no worries. You can still check out her collection online, chloeandlois.com. And when you use the code Book of Bijou, you can get $5 off of your order. So, Brooke, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got started with your business.
Okay, so my name is Brooke Anthony. I am the founder of Chloe and Lois. I founded Chloe and Lois about 2.5 years ago at this point. It's crazy how time has flown. And I actually do not have a background in design at all, which is like shocking to a lot of people. And some people are very dumbfounded when they're like, wow, you have no background in design. I actually have a communications degree. I was born and raised in the Hudson Valley region of New York. So I am right outside of New York City, the last stop on the Metro North out of Grand Central. Take it all the way north, and that's where you'll find me. And I stayed in the area my entire life. I had aspirations to be on TV. I wanted to do television, something in that field, which is why I studied TV, radio, and film. And I really focused on broadcasting. It was something that I liked. I liked being on camera. I've always been pretty animated and a little over the top at times. So it worked. I'm pretty fearless when it comes to being on camera. But that was really my background. While I was in college, I lived the starving artist life, or I should say, I got a taste of the starving artist life. I would wait tables and I would go down to New York City and do casting calls and auditions and all that fun stuff. And I kind of came to find out that I really wasn't the biggest fan of being a starving artist, especially because while I was in college, it was great because my student loan payments didn't kick in yet. So I just kept waiting tables and had that flexibility to go down to the city, do my casting calls. And then I took on an internship towards the tail end of college, and I was on the night show on 96.1 Kiss FM New York. And I was a co-host for a little while, still waited the tables and still hustled on the side. And then when I graduated from college, I did not continue to pursue broadcasting because, like I said, I wanted that stability in my life and I wanted to know I was going to get a paycheck and, I was going to have money coming in. Time to be an adult, right?
Right.
Be an adult. I had to adult up.
Uh-huh.
So I actually worked as a personal assistant out of a wealthy man's home in Millbrook, New York. Liam Neeson was our neighbor, so that was awesome. I would see Liam Neeson and he would wave to me. But absolutely did not know me by name. So nobody special. So then from becoming a personal assistant, I did that job for a little while. And then from there, I kind of pivoted into a completely different industry. And I worked in the consumer packaged goods industry for about 8 years. So I was in sales, merchandising, working with food. I mean, I love food. So it was great, but I never really felt really fulfilled and that like it was my calling. I loved working with people. I was customer facing all the time. I loved merchandising, right? And I would help the companies that I worked for launch products in stores, major chain grocery stores. And before I left the consumer packaged goods industry, I most recently worked with a produce company and I traveled all over the US with 2 laptops and 2 phones because Chloe and Lois was my side hustle towards the tail end of my career in CPG. And I was a road warrior, just working with different reps in different cities all over the place. And that's how I came to this moment right now. Chloe and Lois started as a side hustle for me. My design bug was born when my husband and I got engaged. We were over in the Netherlands, and we ended up getting engaged. And the day after, we were in this very beautiful boutique that had, and I love color, I love sparkle. I like go nuts when I see like sparkly things. This absolutely gorgeous array of earrings hanging on this beautiful jewelry stand. And the earrings were designed by a Dutch designer, and they were all these Swarovski element crystals, and they were absolutely stunning. And I said to my husband, I was like, these are the earrings. Like, these are the earrings that were all the bridesmaids are going to wear in the wedding. And mind you, we hadn't even been engaged for 24 hours.
Right.
My husband was like, whoa, like, let's slow down for a second. Who's going to be in the wedding, Brooke? And I'm like, I don't know, but these are going to be the earrings. These are going to be the earrings. So, my husband being the voice of reason, I bought a pair for myself, which is a pair that we wore on our wedding day, and then returned home from the Netherlands and set out on a quest to find a perfect pair of earrings for my girls when I set my bridal party up. And I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. So I wanted pieces that were functional, that, there's nothing worse than getting a pair of earrings that are so like occasions specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a pair of earrings that are like, they're beautiful, but you bust them out for like when you want to be glam and over the top. I wanted pieces for my girls that could really just be worn every day. They're versatile, that little bit of sparkle that makes them feel beautiful. So from there, that's when my design bug was really born. And I started designing jewelry, doing these terrible sketches that look like a 4-year-old drew them, but I drew them. I was 33 at the time. So I had this sketchbook, and I actually had a friend that worked in the industry, and she showed me the way, like how to find a manufacturer to turn my terrible sketches into wearable pieces.
That's awesome.
So here we are right now. So that's everything that's led up to this moment.
Right. So were those earrings that you designed for your girls, were they similar to the ones that you originally saw?
So now let me backtrack. So I actually ended up not finding exactly what I wanted because I'm very particular.
Right.
So I actually phoned in to the designer in the Netherlands and ordered the jewelry. So this was at the very, very early stages, before Chloe and Lois became a thing, before I had, samples of my first designs.
Gotcha.
So this was just the early stages of me designing.
Yeah.
But I was able to get those earrings, the ones that I saw that I knew, from the store, shipped over. So we all ended up wearing the same earrings anyway. So
wow, that's awesome. I love that story.
Yep.
Okay, so I love when you finally told me that you had been in the television and radio industry.
Yep.
It like clicks for me because your photos are just so stinking beautiful.
Thank you.
Honestly, like prior to you telling me that, I was going to ask you if you had been like a model in your past life.
No.
You just like radiate beauty and confidence.
Thank you.
All the pictures that I've seen on your website and your Instagram, it's just full of like light and energy and kind of like a fearlessness, like you said. So is that like how you are day in and day out, or is that just the magic behind the camera?
No, so there's a lot of magic behind the camera. My photographer Alex is incredible. She is amazing, absolutely amazing. But no, it's funny because, and I'm so glad to hear that you get all these feelings when you look at, Chloe and Lois's Instagram, because that is the message that we want to convey to all of our women. For a long time, I felt lost right? I worked in the consumer packaged goods industry. I love the job, but I never really was super passionate about what I was doing. And I often felt lost and I felt like I didn't have any direction in my life, right? Um, I became pretty like insecure about myself for a while just because I didn't really know, I didn't feel like I really belonged anywhere. Um, and for me, starting Chloe and Lois and doing what I'm doing now, it gives me, I'm empowered by my community that I've created around jewelry, around the pieces that I design. And, I feel like we're in a world that has so many outlets, whether it be social media, magazines, TV, telling you who you need to be, right? Like who Crystal needs to be and who Brooke needs to be.
Mhm.
But at Chloe and Lois, we inspire women to be who they are, right? And we want them to be fearless and we want them to feel a part of something more, right? Because for so long, I felt like I wasn't a part of anything.
Right.
I always felt like I was the odd kid out, but I've been given this confidence and been uplifted through my community. And that confidence that you see exuded in those photos, that's from my community and that's from other women cheering me on and supporting me and pushing me. That's like really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're about at Chloe and Lois, because I've seen the transformation in myself. And I want to pass that along to other women.
I love that. So you're kind of just this reflection of all of these women that you've cultivated and brought together in your own community. That's incredible. Do you have any advice for people that do struggle with confidence? I mean, especially for for small businesses where the person behind the brand, they would love to put themselves out there more, but they aren't used to putting themselves out there. They don't feel that confidence yet. Do you have any kind of advice?
You just have to be yourself. Not everybody's going to like you, and you have to be okay with not everybody liking you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
You should just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of rejection, right? And it's easier said than done. I saw a video on TikTok the other day, and it was like, my boss sent me constructive or feedback on my performance, and then the girl's like, I'm not bad at taking feedback, and she's crying. That's me sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can take it, I'm good. You just have to put yourself out there and live in the mentality that not everybody's gonna love you, but you know what, when you do find the people that love you, they're gonna love you so hard that you're gonna forget about the people that don't love you like that.
I so agree. I know I've seen like a few brands that they don't really have much of a bio or anything about, the person behind the brand. And I think especially for small businesses, it's important to try and put yourself out there. And like you said, once you find your people, then that's when you really start to thrive and flourish. And those are really, really great tips. Okay, so I have to ask, like, before we move on to your actual jewelry business, you really had no other interactions with Liam Neeson other than just waves?
No, just waves. That's it. It was just a wave, and then it was like, was that? Yeah, that was. that was Liam.
Yeah. I imagine him just being like the nicest person ever.
Just waves. That's it. I wish I had a better story.
No worries. Okay, so let's move on to your actual jewelry business. Obviously, your name is Brooke. Who's Chloe and who is Lois?
Okay, so Chloe is my 14-year-old Yorkshire Terrier who is knocked out right now. She's sleeping on the floor. And Lois is my late grandmother. I got my love for jewelry from my late grandmother. I always joke, this is my whole shtick with Chloe and Lois. I'm like the youngest kid ever to get QVC Diamondique jewelry. My grandmother would buy it for me all the time. Every time I went over her house, it was like earrings, necklace, bracelets, something. And my grandmother kind of, put that mentality in me that like, you're never fully dressed until you have a necklace on or a pair of earrings or a ring, right? Whenever I leave the house, even if it's with a sweatshirt, I'm like, do I have something on? They're just like the little finishing touches that complete your look, you know, the ultimate accessory.
Uh-huh. Do you still have a lot of that jewelry that she gave you?
I do.
Oh, is there a
I do.
favorite piece that you hold near and dear?
So this is going to sound really weird. So she gave me a pair of earrings that thread through your ear.
Uh-huh.
And the whole threading process kind of grosses me out, but I love them because they're just so unique and different.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I have not worn them a lot because, like I said, like the thought of like putting it through and pulling it just kind of like freaks me out. But they're absolutely gorgeous. They're solid sterling silver. You know, if they get tarnished, you just polish them up a little bit, and you know they're still great pieces that I can wear to this day because they're great quality.
Mm-hmm. I love that you named it after her. I actually just did another interview earlier last week, I think it was, and she also named her business after her late grandmother. So I love that's just a common thing to do. And I think it says a lot about the heart that goes into these businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much of it is just, and I just love the way that the two names sounded together.
Yeah.
It's really, there's nothing more to it. I just, you know, it's two parts of my life that are very important to me. You know, two people, if we want to call Chloe a person.
And how is Chloe doing? I know you had a little scare a while ago.
Chloe's doing well. She's doing good. She's a little pain in the butt. That's what she is.
Just a dramatic baby.
She was just being dramatic, you know? She woke up one morning and was not feeling good. It went on for 2 days, wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, nothing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the end. Like, this is how it's going to end. I was distraught. Took her to the vet after the second visit. She had blood tests and, you know, the bill went up.
Right.
And brought her home and she was like, I'm fine.
That was fun, Mom. Thanks.
Thanks I just wanted to see how much you would spend.
Right. You passed the test.
I'm worth that much. Thanks, Mom. All right, I'll eat now. I'm fine. But she's good. Thank you for asking.
Okay. So I really want to get into when you started your business. You said you were still working your corporate job, 9 to 5. You said it was really mundane. And in your bio on your website, you said you felt like they clipped your wings off. And luckily you were able to leave just only a year later after launching. But I'm just curious, like how you got through that year while you were juggling it. And I'm particularly interested for selfish reasons because I'm in that spot right now. And honestly, sometimes I just feel like I'm kind of dragging my feet through the day and nothing about the workload of my 9 to 5 excites me. And it just seems like it can be hard to get through the day. And I know eventually my goal is to leave and work on my business full time, but that's not guaranteed. Like, I don't know when or if that'll happen. So how did you get through that?
You got to believe. That's the most important thing. And getting back to the piece that you said about my wings feeling clipped, I did feel clipped because there were so many times I tried to advance in my corporate life and I had someone standing there saying, no, like, we don't think you're ready. And mind you, I worked very remote for those 8 years. You know, I've always had to have been a self-starter in all assets of my 9 to 5. So my work has been solely up to me. And even when I had, you know, a sales position, you know, was hitting sales goals and so on and so forth. So I always kept pushing. But, you know, back to your other previous question you asked before about self-esteem, I let other people's opinion and you know what they had to say about me affect me, right? And it's a little different because it was a corporate world and these people were the gatekeepers to my success, right? And me moving up the ladder. And I started to believe that I wasn't capable of doing great things. You know, like I said, I just felt like I was spinning the wheels. I didn't know where I was going. I felt like crap about myself. But I juggled a lot. I started Chloe and Lois with a bonus that I got from my last job. That was the nest egg that I got to start Chloe and Lois. And you just have to trust and believe that everything that you're doing is going to get you to where you want to be. And whether for you right now, if it's working that mundane 9 to 5, you just got to believe in what you have going on the side, right? And you have to pour every moment that you're not working your 9 to 5, and it's tough because you have a little one. You just have to stay positive, and you got to stay on this razor focused path, and you have to cut out any naysayers who are going to say, really, you think you can do this full time? Really?
Right.
I heard it from people.
Yeah.
I heard it from people. People would say, really, you think you could do this full time and support yourself? Here we are.
Right.
Because I stayed that tunnel vision, I made lots of sacrifices too. You got to cut out what doesn't serve you to get to where you want to be. That's the most important thing. You just have to stay razor focused on creating a life that you want for yourself. Because if you let all these other distractions and all these other people tell you, oh, I don't know, and that doubt creeps in, you're going to be done. You just got to keep moving forward and believe that what you have going on the side, you got to manifest it, and it will become your day job. It will, as long as you believe in what you're doing.
Right. Love that. So from the get-go, your plan was always to make this your full-time job.
Yes.
You always believed in the success of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And this was the first business you've ever started. You had some friends in the industry. You said, was that from like past jobs that you knew them, that you had that connection?
Just through networking.
Okay.
Yep.
And then how much exactly did they help you with starting your business, and how much of it did you have to really figure out on your own?
They helped me out with, I would say, maybe 3%.
So they just connected you with the person and you took it up from there.
Pretty much. I was like, all right, well, I've got these sketches. What do I do? You know what I mean? This was a completely new process. And I would like to just remind everybody, I am not a professional by any means, right? I'm never going to sit here and say, I've been doing this for a year. I am like learning as I go along. I've designed some crap. I'm not going to tell you everything I've designed has been a knockout of the park home run. I mean, I designed some stuff that I'm like, oh my God, like mark it down. Let's move it out. Like, right. Get rid of it. I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to take ownership of that, please. But, you know, I've done other speaking engagements before, and people have asked, like, how did you learn how to do all this? Like, I got a little bit of help from my friend to lift me up. And then I use this website that not many people have heard of. So I'm going to share a really great tip with everybody. So get a pen and paper, write it down. It's called Google, google.com. And a bar pops up. You go to that bar and you type in a question and you got answers for days.
Right.
You just got to know, you got to have a starting point, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's where my friend put me, at that starting point. The rest is up to you.
Right. I love that you've shown like your actual drawings and your sketches for your designs on Instagram. Okay, let me know that I'm not the one that is trying to insult her. She says herself that she's not the greatest artist. But I love that you're so transparent about that. And yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think a lot of people are just worried that they're not perfect in everything. They need to be perfect in everything before they can get started. But that's not the case at all. Here you are, 2.5 years later, successful jewelry business, and you still don't consider yourself an artist, but you are a designer.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Yeah. So how did you go about like marketing? Was it kind of just something that the demand just naturally started coming in?
How so? Could you clarify?
When you started your business, like, how did you start selling, and like, how did you get your business to grow?
Social media. I mean, that's really been a major part in what I've done. And, you know, from the beginning, like I said, I have experience with launching products in different markets.
Okay, right.
You know, with my consumer packaged goods background, cross merchandising, you know, just knowing the business. Well, I should say learning the business, right? Because I'm a lifetime learner. Learning the business. And what I also had at a very early on point was I had retail partners. So I actually split the business and I had two different avenues that I sold the product. One was online and two was through my retail partners. So my retail partners is my wholesale portion of my business. So they helped me grow my brand locally. As I would say to anybody who's starting a brand, focus local, right? Because everybody loves to support local. And I grew from there because I had some key retail partners in the area that I was able to sell the product into. So we had a presence online, and then we had the presence in the stores. So that helped me grow at a very quick rate. So that was really the two building blocks, most important pieces of the foundation of the business that I now continue to build Chloe and Lois on.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any like really big setbacks, or what was your biggest challenge getting you to this point?
I've had tons of setbacks. I mean, like I said, I'm always learning, always learning. I have to wear every hat being a small business owner. There is no real team. I mean, I have Diana who works alongside me. She's like my right hand woman and she helps with things here and there. But, everything is on my shoulders. So I feel the pressure daily as, I had to unfortunately cancel our call because things just seem to like blow up. Right. Things are always blowing up here. But you just got to figure out how to work through it. Whenever you have a hurdle, you got to figure out how to get over it. And you might not jump over it. You might put one arm up, then another, and then kind of roll over it. But I'm rolling over lots of hurdles over here.
It's messy, but worth it.
But it is. You just have to, you learn from them, right? And then anytime another issue pops up, you say, all right, we've been through this before. How do we handle this?
Mm-hmm. So for you, it's really more than just the jewelry, right? So you have this bigger mission of really empowering women and helping them to see this incredible force that they are.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that Glitter and Give Back program that I saw on your website?
Yes, absolutely. So Glitter and Give Back is just scraping the surface of something that we want to continue to build. So what I did was I sat down with a non-for-profit organization that's local to me in the Hudson Valley, and it's called Unshattered. And what Unshattered does is Unshattered takes women who are winning their battle against addiction, and it employs them, teaches them new life skills, helps them get back on their feet. Because a lot of these women that are, had dealt with addiction issues, they were just brought up into it, right? They really didn't know much other than the vicious cycle that they were placed into. So what Unshattered does is it employs these women that are, clean. They're from a home down in Garrison, New York. And Kelly Lingard is the founder and the CEO. She is incredible. She is so brilliant. And what she does is she employs them and teaches them how to sew. And every dollar that is made on the bags goes to help support these women, keep them employed, and to help them grow their workforce. So I sat down with Kelly and we designed our first ever Glitter and Give Back piece, which was this absolutely stunning opal and CZ necklace in gold and sterling silver. And we, Chloe and Lois, gave back $25 from the sale of that necklace direct to Unshattered to help support their mission. That's so it made me, every time like I go see Kelly and we talk, like I fill up with tears. Like I'm an easy crier. Like I said before, I cry easy. But I take that constructive feedback just fine. Don't worry. She is incredible. And missions like this, especially that go to support women, need to be supported by other women. And I think what she's doing is incredible. I think the work that all her employees are doing is absolutely outstanding. So that's something that we wanted to get involved with and help support. So we will be looking for other nonprofit organizations in the future to collaborate, sit down and design with, and give us some money back to.
That's incredible. Yeah, I love that. And that necklace really is gorgeous. I saw it.
Thank you.
The little bar with the blues, so
Yep.
pretty. And you also have a podcast too. So is that fairly
Yes.
new?
So that started at the very beginning of quarantine. So I bought myself a mic, and then it was like the universe was like, "Nah, we're shutting it down." So
Right.
coronavirus came, and here we are, all digital. I am looking to reboot that in 2021. It was really focused on sitting and chatting with other small female business owners, kind of like what we're doing now,
Right.
to help support them and just talk about all things business and being a gal and getting stuff done.
Yeah, love that. I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to be tuned in. So I'm glad I caught your stories on that today before I hopped on this call with you.
Yep.
Okay. So I really want to point out when I first reached out to you about being part of our giveaway, your
Yep.
response was something along the lines of, I'd love to hear more of your plans and see if it aligns with Chloe and Lois.
Yep.
Well, I want to talk about alignment. I feel like obviously that's such an important element of business, and a lot of female entrepreneurs, at least from a lot of the courses and master classes I've been seeing like floating around these days, that's something that's being very actively pursued. Can you tell us what it means to you to be working in alignment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want people that really share in the vision. You came to me, said, "Hey, listen," when you told me a little bit more, it was about coming together. It was, even though we all had similar pieces, it was me and other jewelry designers that, we all collaborated and came together to do the giveaway to support you. So it was this mutual support that you wanted to support me. And even though, when I looked through everybody else that was involved in the giveaway, we all had similar products, but we're all women and we're all in this together.
Right.
So that's where it hit home for me, where I was like, yeah, we need to get involved with this, because this is something that's creating that harmony and supporting that harmony amongst other female business owners, right? You have a dream that you're in the process of executing. We've all been there. And when you have that support, it helps lift you up, right?
Right. Yeah, I think our visions are very parallel. So your main focus, you have your jewelry, and I have my jewelry organizer that I'm still designing. But on the side of that, we really have this mission of trying to uplift everyone around us, right?
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of posts that say, be comfortable saying no, normalize saying no.
Yep.
Was there a time where you were just saying yes to everything because you had to?
I think at the beginning, yeah, I did say yes to a lot of things that, now looking back really didn't make a lot of sense. It was like, why did I do that? And okay, so this is what that person wanted, and this is what I said yes to. And I'm like, okay. But again, this goes back into the whole you learn, right? You learn and you get more comfortable with saying no. At the beginning, there are going to be people that are going to want to take advantage of you, Crystal. I guarantee, getting started,
I'm prepared.
Yeah, they're going to want to take advantage of you, because that's just unfortunately how some people are, but we can all do our part to not be those people. But yes, the answer is yes. I did a lot of things at the beginning without really thinking, just because I wanted that exposure. And now I'm more picky and choosy about doing things that benefit not just me, but my community.
Right.
Right? Because it's about my customers. It's about what my customers want and the type of content they want to be subjected to. I want to make sure things always stay relevant for them, and we're always doing the right thing in the name of our customers.
Mm-hmm. So I know we're going a little bit over our time here, so I'm just gonna hold off on the other questions. But I really, really appreciate you sitting down with us today, Brooke.
Yeah.
Such a fun interview. Again, if you guys at home haven't checked out her collection, definitely check it out. You will love it. chloeandlois.com. You will also get $5 off your purchase when you use code Book of Bijou 5. Make sure you're following both of us on Instagram, Book of Bijou, Chloe and Lois.
Yep.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out her podcast that's launching soon. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you, Brooke, for joining us.
Thank you for asking me to come. I'm flattered. Always, anytime you need me, I'm here.
Sounds good. I'm going to hold you to that.